Evaton can produce giants. Lawrence Katleho Khekhe, who is known as the Angel of Evaton, is a social entrepreneur, philanthropist, a facilitator, and founder of several initiatives transforming education and entrepreneurship in underdeserved countries. And he joins us this morning. Lawrence, good morning.
Good morning, Ntsako.
I'm hoping that you're having a lovely day so far, especially if we are known as an angel. You usually have to take care of the angels of the world.
No, thank you very much, Ntsako. You know, angels, they always wake up before other people they can wake up, even though we go through this transition, of the season.
Yeah. So talk to us about this. I mean, you rose from a shack to now empowering thousands of learners. Tell me all about that.
All right, thank you very much, Ntsako, for the opportunity. Because the reason why we say that I've started at an early age and coming from the shack and growing up with the single parent and trying this hustling thing and getting to understand the part where we give, not because we have. I always work around that slogan to say we give not because we have much, but we give because we know how it feels to have nothing. So growing up in a share, growing up understanding that you couldn't even understand what is the role model, what is all about making it in life. So that's how it all started to say we are giving not because we have much, but we give because we know how it feels to have nothing. And I was very glad to see other people when you think it's 67 minutes. We have already started 67 minutes, I think 16 years ago of my life. That's how I started this thing of giving back to the community.
So you built A2 National Community College, a marketing agency, and the Lawrence Katleho Educational Foundation. I mean, what drives all of this?
What drives all this thing is all about empowering the community. I remember when I started the Lawrence Katleho Educational Foundation, it was more of a non-profit company. It was all about giving back to the community through education, sports, and recreation. So this thing, it all built up to throughout giving out or empowering the community through education, and that's how it went to start the A2 National Computer College, which is empowering the community through ICT skills training, because we believe in the whole country, most of people are still struggling with the computer literacy. They're still not exposed to technology. So that's how it all started, because we're empowering the young people in terms of from primary schools to high school in the mainstream schools. So the problem that we realize that as much as we expose them to this career we expose them to a lot of careers, but the problem still remains in our locations or in the rural areas to say, after grade 12, they can't manage as much as they go to the universities or higher institutions. When they get there, there's still a problem with the computer literacy. There's still a problem to interact with others because they were not exposed to such. So that's how we started the A2 National Computer College, to empower them through the ICT skills and empower the communities that will just get into the workspace in terms of your retailers, the basic computer training. So this thing is all about the empowerment. And with the marketing agency, which is the AU2 print and marketing agency, while we are empowering others through computer literacy and ICT, we wanted to give them an opportunity, because in South Africa, it's rare to get most of South Africans that are doing printing, that are doing, as much as your topic said, when last time did you become a foreigner into another country? So we believe that in our own country, we felt that most of people that are coming outside are doing more than us when it comes to printing. So that's how I started to do that, to empower them, to say they shouldn't be the middlemen, or they shouldn't be what. Whoever wants to start the business, they can come through to us, and then we help them and assist them. So that's how we came up all about that. Recently, the reason why we even started the Hustlers Empowerment Initiative, because I could understand the frustration that hustlers or the entrepreneurs or the informal sectors they are going through. So all these things, they are connecting up. That's how I started all this group.
Can we take a step back quickly? Because you work with the youth, and I think one of the conversations that come up are, we place a lot of judgment on the youth. We like to kind of give them certain labels. What do you have to say about the youth of today? What are some of the gaps that we are, identifying? What are some of the things that you feel like we're not doing enough of, which kind of leads them to making very dangerous decisions in their lives?
Hey, you know what? Talking about the resident youth, I think somehow we are being spoon-fed. That's the problem with South African youth. Because I've traveled all over African continent, so I could even see how others are pushing in their own countries and how other people they are pushing in our own countries. So somehow we are being spoon-fed. Some of our youth, they get an opportunity for the leaderships. But the most important thing about our youth pushing the leadership is that they are all about getting the stipends. So that's all I think. Rather than saying I'm all about getting the knowledge. So I could say it's 50-50. Some of the youth, they are really keen, but the only thing that they need is a push. Hence, I started the Hustlers Empowerment Initiative to say, I want to fund the informal sectors, the informal businesses, to say, as much as you're running car wash at the corner, you need to be monitored. You need to know how to use the finances. You need a training because some of people, they are living from hand to mouth. So I wanted to actually mitigate the problem around that to say, how do you, like, you live from hand to mouth. Sunday, let's talk about Sunday. All of us, Monday, we start or Saturday today. So Sunday, it means all of Monday, we're going back to work. So now you go to the car wash are closed because the guys were somewhere on Saturday, so they couldn't open up the car wash. So those are things that we're dealing with to say, as young people, how do we mitigate this problem? But some of them, they are very keen to say, whatever that I need, I don't need a lot of funding, I don't need a million. The only thing that I need is just to get the material. I only need 1,000, I only need 2,000. It all depends.
And it's beautiful because you see them coming up with so many ideas and then they come to you and say, no, but we don't have the money for it. And so it's quite an interesting one. And let's talk partnerships. I think organizations like yours, initiatives like the ones that you're establishing, I do believe that you do need a backup. You do need some sort of backing, some support. You know, what does that look like? You know, who are we partnering with? And do you plan on partnering with more people on these initiatives?
You know what? In this initiative, we still even looking for the partners to say how do we mitigate this poverty thing? How do we fight the poverty allegation? Because I always believe that sometimes you can't always spoon feed people. So even our 67 minutes this year, we celebrating it differently. We cannot always go and give food every time it's Mandela Day. We give food, and what happens after? Consistency. What is it that can be able to sustain you as a young person? What can be able to sustain you while you're going through poverty? So on our side, we say, let us fund your business so that you can be able to provide for your family. So I'm saying, whether you want to sell art, you want to sell eggs, something very small, but the most important thing about like sell, whatever it is, sell. So we're still even asking the private sectors, your government sectors, anywhere to say, partner with us. And on our side, we will be able to administrate this funds because we don't need a lot. Sometimes we don't need a lot. The only thing that is most important is you monitor the funding because now our government can be able to fund any other business. But how do you monitor that business? How do you make sure that business it makes it? Because now somebody will just get a funding of 1 million, but within 6 months the business has failed again. It means that there was no monitoring, there was no training, there was nothing, there was nothing. So on our side, we're still saying we're asking for any partnerships to say, partner with us in 9 provinces because we are working nationally with our project, because we do have some partners in the private sector that we're already working with that are providing us in terms of the connectivity, in terms of the training. So we try by all means to say as much as we can, and this thing doesn't even need a lot. So what we say is that as much, the only thing that we need is only to fund an informal sector with only 2,000 each. Only 2,000. We're dealing with your stock, we're dealing with your marketing, we're dealing with your training. That's it.
And that 2,000 goes a long way, hey? You might
it
find
goes a long way, to be honest with you.
It goes a long way because when you think about things like a domain, for example, which is about 20 Rand a month, you think about stock. So even when someone buys stock, they'll learn how to negotiate. You also don't have to buy a lot of stock. You know, you buy just enough maybe to make about 10 sales. And then from that sales, you kind of rebuy it. So it also teaches you about pricing. You know, as an entrepreneur, I really understand. A lot of us don't need a lot of the millions of rands funds to fund a business. Sometimes that 2K is literally all you need. Some of them just need that 2K to buy the popcorn machine. You know, it's beautiful to see young people taking that money, and you know, this initiative I think is going to give them that. So what's coming up? What can we expect from you in the next coming months? Do we have any initiatives, any launches that we can look forward to?
Yes, we're having the launch where we'll be funding other businesses, because our target was just for this, because each and every term, which means every term we fund 5 or 10 businesses. So now we have our second cohort. Our second cohort will be going through a training. They'll be going through the transition of actually administration, and then they will be funded. So by the month end of July, I think I'll be able to extend the invitation to you guys. We'll be handing out the funding for the second cohort. So each and every time we have a cohort. By the end of the year, we'll be having a biggest graduation that will be actually having a testimonial to say all our SMMEs or all our informal sectors will be giving away the testimonials, which means we'll be having what you call a gala dinner with informal sectors. They wear their ties, and then they can feel that, you know what, we made it in life. Sometimes you don't need a lot. You just need to be exposed to the right people in the right direction. So that is what we're all about, because most of them now we are busy helping them to register so that we can formalize their businesses. Because sometimes you need somebody who can cater. And Banban is somewhere in the corner for Slovas or in Val. They are selling nice bottles, but it's not formally registered. And at that time, we're looking for a catering. We don't need something fancy. We're saying we need my American friends, when they get to South Africa, they only need South African tea. They don't want to go to the expensive restaurant. So that's what we're all talking about, to say, let's formalize our business and take it to another level. And I always say to young people that we are the change that we want to see in our own communities. Government doesn't owe us anything. We owe to government to make this country a better place.
Lawrence, I hope it's not the last time we engage. It sounds like you've got your ducks in a row and helping getting everyone else's ducks in a row as well. Where can we find you on social media?
All right. We are available on social media. TikTok, we are there, AE2 National Computer College. You can find us on X, it's AE2 National Computer College. And on Facebook, we are there. You can find me. It's Lawrence Katleho Foundation, Lawrence Katleho, and AE2 National Computer College, AE2 Print and Marketing Agency. Everywhere in the socials, even if you can go to AI or ChatGPT, you'll find us.
Oh, listen to you. Made it to the AI status. I'm obsessed, man. Thank you so much for joining us today, and all the best with your future endeavors.
Thank you very much, my sister, and have a lovely day.
Awesome stuff. That was a Lawrence Khekhe coming through there, who's a social entrepreneur, a philanthropist, facilitator, and founder of several initiatives that are transforming education and entrepreneurship in undeserved communities. It is a 7:49 Central African time. Let's enjoy some music coming through here. I see Data is coming through. We got music from Benin. So let's take a trip around Africa and enjoy.
Africa, meet a